When it comes to crossovers, navigating through a sea of choices can be quite the challenge. In a market flooded with options, established names like the Geely Coolray and the Ford Territory dominate the landscape. Yet, in this crowded arena, there's a name that I think deserves a place among the distinguished. This is the Changan CS-55 Plus. In this video, we find out whether its looks, its features, its driving experience, whether all of that isn't enough to take a place among the distinguished few. So a couple of years ago when I was looking into a brand new car, of course I'm going to look into the more traditional brands. But then you suddenly realize that, oh my God, this is really expensive and they're not very good. They're kind of boring. And like a lot of people, I told myself that I would never ever try out a Chinese car. But then when you try out a Chinese car, what you get is, well, things like this. The Changan CS-55 Plus, this is the Luxe variant. And I gotta tell you guys, when I bought that Geely Coolray, I thought that was like the pinnacle of a subcompact crossover. But after driving this for a couple of days, I wish I waited because this is even better. Starting with the exterior of the Changan CS-55 Plus, in my opinion, the design looks dignified and confident. It features a bold front fascia with some cool highlights like this transparent plastic on top of the grille. Its three-piece automatic headlights actually work really well at night. The side profile also makes it look bigger. The 19-inch wheels look good and also has a decent amount of clearance as well. So checking out the rear exterior of the CS-55 Plus, this is actually my favorite. I photographed this so many times because it's a really unique design. I love this bold red LED light here. I think the best thing about it is I think it's gonna age really well because it's just the right amount of sporty. Moving on to power, the Changan CS-55 Plus has one of the most powerful engines in the segment with a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine that produces 185 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque. This is mated to a 7-speed wet dual clutch transmission. It's got a ton of pull when you floor it. Fuel consumption is rated at almost 10 kilometers per liter on the city and about 16 kilometers on the highway. Alright, let's check out the interior of the Changan CS-55 Plus. First impressions when I saw this, it's kind of similar to a European design, but at the very least, it's a very good design. Another feature that stands out is of course this steering wheel here. It's a bit rectangular, so it's flat on the bottom, then also flat on the top. And the very first time that you're gonna be driving it, it's kind of jarring, it's kind of weird, but after driving it for a while, it actually makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna go back with that with the driving impressions, but what you have here is you have a 12.3-inch touchscreen. This is for the Luxe variant, and then you have a 10-inch infotainment screen, digital infotainment screen, and then other cool features is you have a wireless charger, you have 2 cup holders, you have a knob here where it controls the driving modes. So you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. You have your electronic parking brake. There's a decent amount of space here. Then of course you have space here on the center console. You have a couple of USB ports, of course a 12-volt socket. Now the first time you're gonna be driving this car is you'll notice that the steering wheel is actually a little bit lower But again, like I said, it actually makes sense because while you're driving it, because of the design of the steering wheel, you can actually see the instrument cluster clearly all the time. Unlike other cars which have the traditional, of course, the usual circular steering wheel, where sometimes it actually blocks the view, and there's really no problem getting the correct position or the right position for you because you have electronic adjustments for your seat here. Another thing that I really like about the CS-55 is the multimedia and cruise control buttons here on the steering wheel. At first, you might think this is actually like touch haptic feedback buttons, but no, this is actually real buttons, and they feel good. Also, you have physical buttons here on the AC controls, so I like that a lot because a lot of cars these days they have the all the controls on the touchscreen, but no. Okay, check out the second row here. Yeah, you know, just as you would expect. You have a decent amount of headroom, leg room isn't too bad. The materials of the leather here is pretty good. And then you have two USB ports on the center console here. You have one air vent. And finally, you have two cup holders. So everything here is as you would expect. Everything that you'll ever need. Room-wise, three adults, perfectly fine. So again, that's another check for the CS-55 Plus. Other notable features of the Changan CS-55 Plus is a premium Pioneer audio system, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink, a panoramic sunroof, 360-degree camera, voice control. Practicality-wise, it features an automatic tailgate, 60/40 folding rear seats with as much as 475 liters of space. Finally, in terms of safety, this has ABS, stability control, hill hold and hill descent control, traction control, rollover mitigation. Plus, this top-of-the-line Luxe variant has adaptive cruise control, stop-and-go function, autonomous emergency braking, lane keeps assist, and a forward collision warning system. So here we are, guys. We're driving the Changan CS-55. So I've been driving this for about 3 to 4 days now, and here is my verdict. So number one, when it comes to the looks, I think comparing this to the Geely Coolray, I do feel that the Geely Coolray's design that it's a bit dated now. Although it is sporty, I think the look of it is it feels dated. I will admit that. But this CS-55, I think the way Changan designed it is they managed to pull it off that it doesn't. I think it's just right. It looks sophisticated. It looks grown up, but I do think that it's gonna age a lot better than the Geely Coolray. And then talking about the engine here, the Geely Coolray, they always talk about that it's a Volvo engine and all of that good stuff. But on this Changan CS-55, with its 188 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque, there is plenty of it. It is just as fast, maybe not on the 0 to 100 time, and maybe that the exact same thing, but it definitely feels like that. It's quick. It's got a lot of torque when you drive it up the hill. And even if you're fully loaded, there is plenty of power to have. So there's no issue there. It's also very fun to drive. And then when you talk about, again, the steering wheel, I keep talking about this because this is a huge part of the experience. The best thing about it is it's totally different from the norm. So it's refreshing. It's definitely refreshing compared to, the traditional sort of cars that we're accustomed to. If I was looking for a crossover right at this moment, and I was gonna choose between things like the Geely Coolray, um, maybe the CS-35. I think I would definitely go with this because the design is a lot more classic. Again, it's gonna last a bit better, and then yeah, it's just a better all rounder. It's there's not a huge difference, but it's enough for 1.3 million. There's a ton of stuff that you're gonna get for this car. So there you have it, guys. I hope you like this review. Thank you so much again to Changan Philippines for lending me this car. I've really enjoyed my time with it. So again, this is Paul for Test Drive PH. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.